grew up, my dad was in medical school for 10 years. And I grew up in a house where my grandmother would watch a lot of news. And I used to see Mandela on TV all the time. And I would hear this man and I knew about him because everyone just used to talk about him.
From the very beginning, the African National Congress set itself the task of fighting against white supremacy. We have always regarded as wrong for one racial group to dominate another racial group. And from the very beginning, the African National Congress has fought without hesitation against all forms of racial discrimination.
He became one of my heroes. He was a selfless man who gave himself up for other people. He was a man that persevered. He was a man that loved. He's a man that understood that sometimes it takes one person to just fight for other people. So I just grew up loving him, and then I got to find out that he went to prison just, because he was fighting for the rights of people at that time. So I heard and I read about apartheid, and my encounter, that magical encounter, when I traveled back in time, I was taken back to the day when Mandela was released from jail, from prison.
Nelson Mandela will be released at the Victor Verster prison on Sunday, the 11th of February at about 3 p.m.
His first public appearance in nearly 3 decades. 72 years old, walking strongly, step by step, further into freedom.
Wow, what a day. The atmosphere, people were shouting, freedom, freedom, we are free. The atmosphere was just phenomenal. You could hear how everybody felt as though there was a weight that was taken off from their shoulders. It was like this day that everybody just looked forward to, for when Mandela will come back and address the nation and give the nation hope and give the nation that speech to say, you know what, eventually I was in prison and now I am here.
Your tireless and heroic sacrifices have made it possible for me to be here today.
When I then got to have my one-on-one with Mandela that day, I managed to ask him a lot of questions about how he felt and about what was truly in his heart. And one of the things that truly stood out for me on that day that he said to me was how he wanted to empower the entire nation, but more so women and children. Hence, he inspired me to be that person that decided that, you know what, I will be that person that will fight for what women and children are capable of. Because he then told me that, you know what, the women are capable and they are capable of being great leaders. And he's someone that was so big on leadership. He told me that education was so important for the children. If we educate them well from a young age, they will grow up to be great leaders of the nation. He truly impacted my life in a phenomenal way on that day, and I will never forget. My name is Nonkanyezi Njangase, and I am an activist for women and children's rights.